Hello there, everybody. There's a thread going on here at the vinyl community about albums that we have with no cover. A thread called "What? No cover?" And it was started by Steve Whitty, if I'm not wrong informed, and has also been made by. The thread has been answered by numerous people like James Griffith and John Bellamy and so on, and I thought it was a very interesting subject, so why not? As John Bellamy said in his video, I guess many of us have experiences with records that have no covers, and sometimes you're curious enough to actually get them, or if you get them for free, like I have several times. I don't have all that many without covers. It would be a lot before I get an album with no cover. As I said, it is if I get it for free or something like that, or if it is an album that I'm really curious about. You can call it a blind buy or something like that. I don't think that I would ever find myself buying like a Depeche Mode album with no cover or something like that. But sometimes it can be fun if you find something that you're a little curious of. So let me show you my albums with no covers, and I have actually taken it a little bit step further and also including singles, some singles that I have. Not all, because that would take a little amount of long time. I have made a video a couple of years ago when I got a bunch of singles with no covers, and those I'm leaving a link to below so you can see them again. But I have also some CDs with no cover. Get to those later. Starting with vinyl singles with no covers in various genres, but starting here with an album that I don't know where I got it from, to be honest, but I had it for a long time. This is the Italian Italo techno band Black Box. They're famous for the song "Ride on Time," which I think is a very annoying song. Amazingly great produced, but very annoying melody. I have a hard time listening to the sample that they have. But the other singles that they released from this album, Dreamland, is actually really good house disco. Talking about like Everybody, I Don't Know Anybody Else, and actually a really great version of the Earth, Wind & Fire song Fantasy. And I got their album, Dreamland, on a record with no cover. I don't know if I'm going to buy them back or not at this moment. I'm the kind of guy who thinks that, sure, it's not the right cover, it's not no cover, but it's much more fun of buying new albums that I don't have than albums that I already have in one form. But definitely this is a good album. So maybe I will sometime down the line. This is an album that I got for free by a friend at work. And it is an artist that I had no idea who it was. So I gave it a shot because I got it for free. Why not see what it is? It actually was pretty good, little singer-songwriter style. I never heard of the artist before I got this album. Alan O'Day, and the album Appetizers from 1977. Released on Pacific. Not the most famous singer-songwriter or pop star, but it was pretty good. It was soft and very well made. Not sure though if I'm going to get a new version of that one right now. Don't intend to start collecting Alan O'Day albums, but we'll see. This one, I also don't know where I got it from. I think I got it at the same time as the Black Box album, but I kept it because it was so magnificent good. And it was my first experience of listening to Marshall Crenshaw. So I got his album Mary Jane and Nine Others from 1987. It's a really, really good guitar pop album. I really, really liked this one. Maybe one day I get the real, a new, better copy of it. So we'll see. And this one I also had for numerous years. I think I got it from a friend of mine back in the late 80s early 90s when I was still very new to the jazz genre. But I thought it was, at the time, it was a free jazz album. Why not? Even though I today don't think it's really that good. I don't know why I keep it. Maybe nostalgia, because I have once listened to it a couple of times, but it's a little too light jazz maybe for me. But it is recorded in 1973. It is with the Danish pianist Julius Jacobsen, who I've heard that back then. I only heard him in Swedish radio once. Got me inspired, and it is with trombone, Swedish musicians, trombone, saxophone, violin, and at one song also flute, and it is classic Swedish musicians like Folke Eriksberg, Tor Edeby, who has been Folke Andersson, have been all the way back, even back to his 30s. But this album, which is live at Tanto, it's also live. Maybe that is the reason why I kept it also, as I love live jazz. It's a little bit of light jazz for me, but it's fun to have. I have a hard time giving up albums that I'm having for so many years that it almost become nostalgia. So some albums here with no cover, and I also have some singles that I like to show. Back when I was younger, I think back in the days, in the early 90s, like 1991, if I got a single with no covers that I got for free, I felt like, well, let's do something about it. So I did this all by myself back then. It's a cover sleeve of my own. This is Andy Gibb together with Victoria Principal from Dallas. You wonder, can she really sing? No, but it's fun to have anyway. And they're doing Everly Brothers, All I Have to Do Is Dream. And it's a really fun thing to have, even though it's not all that good. Looking like this. But I did this cover sleeve all by myself, trying to make it so genuine as possible. All with information about producers and composer and all kind of stuff. So I guess I was a little bit more creative back then. This one I got from my father last Easter, actually. This is an Elvis Presley single, It is Tutti Frutti, Trying to Get to You, I Got a Woman, and One-Sided Love Affair. I showed these before, but I might show them again. And it is, in fact, only Beatles-related stuff that I have. Beatles stuff that I have is a couple of singles that I got long time ago. They were maybe not in the most perfect shape. They were without sleeve, but I felt like can't get rid of. Finally, have some Beatles singles. It would be stupid to get rid of them, even though I'm not a huge fan of them. But Eleanor Rigby is pretty good, and Yellow Submarine, of course, at the B-side. And here also is Revolution, together with Hey Jude. And here is also Penny Lane and Strawberry Fields Forever. But that one I bought just a month ago, and that one has something that looks like a cover, even though it's not the right cover sleeve. But also got some singles, and it's very interesting. This was around a couple of years ago. I think it was around many years ago. I think it was around 2003 or 4. The warehouse that we have here in the city, Åhléns, they had a sellout of a box with different kind of new CDs. When I'm saying new, I don't mean that they actually were recorded new. They were a couple of years old at the time, but they were not used CDs. That were that they had in their store in the back, and then that were missing sleeves. So they sold sleeveless CDs in plastic, little plastic covers, and sold them for $1. And I actually bought a whole bunch, even though they had no cover. I mean, why not? It was albums with pretty fresh releases of albums that I most likely wouldn't have bought otherwise, since new CDs were pretty expensive here. So here you have, I bought this one for vacation. Here, coverless CD records, and also took a couple of these labels for old diskettes to use as notes about who is playing, what songs are playing on the CDs. And we have here synth pop group Mesh with an album. You have Titiyo and her album Come Along. Swedish singer that I mentioned before. We have Swedish synth pop group Ratata and a collection that was about a year old. You have Britney Spears and her Baby One More Time album. We have Suede's Head Music. And we have Norwegian singer Lene Marlin playing My Game. You have a compilation with best of from 1996. You have Swedish dance artist Robin Cook, Land of Sunshine. And we have Tina Cousins British dance dance singer, Killing Time. Had some great hits in the late 90s. Beautiful South, Quench, Cardigans, Gran Turismo, Oasis. A couple of Oasis singles. This is their masterpiece album with a lot of B-sides. Be Here Now, one of you that I actually have bought then on another copy with the sleeve. Roxette, Have a Nice Day. And we have Dido, No Angel. We have Swedish group Bo Kasters Orkester and the album America. And this is For the Masses. It's a compilation that were released in the 90s with different kind of groups doing Depeche Mode's covers. This is a dance compilation called Fight for a Right to Party. We have a Swedish group that I really, really like, Nina Letar UFO, and the album Med and Mun. This one is not from that finding. I bought this one later on. Same with Imperiet and a compilation called Alltid Rött, Alltid Rätt, en samling. And we have another of my favorite Swedish bands, Lolita Pop. Yeah. So I have my shares of coverless albums. Of course, I'm not ashamed of them. I'm not ashamed of anything that I have in my record collection. But of course, it's a whole lot more fun to have them with covers, and I wouldn't buy them coverless if it isn't very, very cheap, and I'm just a little bit special. And when I'm talking about cheap, they should be pretty close to free. But if it's, why not? So I hope that has been entertaining, and that I have contributed to the thread. Really nice, and I hope that each and every one of you. I really hope to do a vinyl CD update soon. So until next time, take care everybody, and so long.